Welcome back. In this video, we are going to learn the differences between manual and automation testing. So, we have been talking about testing, bugs, and etc. for past few videos, right? So, in this video, we will see that in functional testing, there are two types of testing. One is manual and one is automation. And both of them have their own importance. How? I'll tell you. Manual testing. Coming to manual testing, manual testers plays a prominent role in designing the test cases. No automation tester will design the test cases. Okay, they'll use the test cases that were designed by manual testers, and they'll add them into their code, and then they'll run it. Okay. So manual testing. Coming to the differences, manual testing team designs the test cases which are used by the automation testers. In manual testing, there will not be any involvement of the code. Only thing that manual testers are concerned is the requirements, specifications, and the application is working as per the requirements and specifications or not. And coming to automation testing, code is involved. We should have the knowledge of the code, and the automation testers will be using the test cases that were designed by manual testers to and they run the script. Now you might have a question: how do they decide so and so test cases are for automation? So it depends. It depends on the functionality of the test cases designed by manual testing team. These will be like manual testers and the automation testers. They have a discussion and decide what test cases can be run in automation, what can be run in manual. And why do we run the automation testing? It's because we have to run the regression testing for every new releases. Okay, for every new releases, the previous functionalities will have to go through the regression testing part. Now, if the regression testing have minimal number of cases, like test cases, like 100, 200 or 500 test cases, it will be easy to run with some 5 to 10 manual testing team. Let's say if this regression testing is having some around 1000 plus test cases, then it will be hard for the manual testing team to test them manually, to run the regression manually. Whereas automation testing team, what they does is they will add these test cases into batches and they'll run the test suite. So there will be something called test suite and batching of the test cases. They'll add them into this batching and the batching or in the test suite, and they'll run at a time. So if the regression testing has to run n number of times for every release, then in that case automation testing is very helpful. Whereas coming to manual testing, we like ad hoc testing, usability testing, exploratory testing, and some other testings are there, like UI UX testing. All these are possible with manual testing. They are not possible with automation testing again. Why are they not possible with automation testing? Because see, ad hoc testing does not require any test cases. So we cannot run a test script for ad hoc testing. Exploratory testing is something we have to what do we need to do? We need to explore the application for any issues or bugs or how it is working and etc. Okay. Hence, exploratory testing cannot be run through automation. Usability testing decides how good the customer is able to use the application. That cannot be tested through automation again. Okay, So here are some differences that I have written for us, for you guys. You can go through each and every one, every point, and we can discuss. There are some 12 good points for manual testing and automation testing. You will see each and every one. Okay. So in manual testing, it requires a human intervention. So why it requires a human intervention? Because manual testers will not be using the frameworks or code or tools, automation tools to run the tester. They have to do it manually. They have to click on the button. They have to click on the. They have to click on a tab. They have to navigate to a page. All this has to be done manually. So human interference is a must. Whereas testing with automation is performed using some tools and frameworks. Now, there will be different IDEs like NetBeans, Eclipse, etc. So, automation can be done through one of the software named Selenium or Selenium. Using Selenium, there will be a number of tools in that. Like there will be, we can use Selenium in for web-based testing in a well manner, and there will be a framework called Page Object ModelNet. So all these we will be discussing about the automation testing in our future videos, where I'll take you through I will walk you through the basics of automation. We will discuss there. But for now, you have to know that testing with automation is done using some tools and frameworks. Okay. Manual testing can be useful for short-term projects. Let's say if the project is for 3 months or 6 months, manual testing can be used. If the project is a huge project where it takes around 2 years or 2 to 5 years to complete it, in that case, you'll have n number of test cases. Regressions will be done n number of times. In such cases, in such huge projects, manual testing, if we perform only manual testing, it will not be enough. It will not be helpful at all. We need to switch to the automation, where in automation these scripts will be running. Okay. So manual testers involves the testing involves the test case designing as well. Automation testing executes the test case using these tools in the framework. So as I mentioned earlier, exploratory testing, ad hoc testing, and usability testing can be performed easily with manual testing. Whereas in automation testing, these cannot be performed easily. Similarly, UI UX testing as well. It can be easily performed using the manual testers only. How? See, if we have to see the color of the web page or the pixels, those can be easily taken or considered using in manual testing. In automation testing, there will be some keywords, but still it may be useful, it may not be useful. We cannot say that we'll be able to 100% test the UI UX part using the automation test. No, we cannot. Okay. So manual testing does not involve any coding part. Automation testing involves coding part. Possibility. In manual testing, there is a high chance for human errors. Let's say if there is a tester A, he is working on that project for some good 3 months or 6 months. Okay, but every time he runs the regression, every time he runs the regression, he sees the same test cases. Every time he goes through the test cases, he finds similar functionalities. So at some point he will be bored, and at that point where he gets bored is the crucial part. Like he might encounter some bugs and some issues, and he might skip them. There is a high chance. Okay. Whereas in automation, no, results are very reliable. Okay. Because it will be run through the frameworks and the coding part. there is a very less chance that system does an error. Okay, whatever it is, it throws on the face of the system. In simple way, screen of the system. So if there is anything that goes wrong, it could be in the code, and that code is written by human again. So there only those parts where the mistakes were made, or some code needs to be changed or something, that can be done easily. But in manual testing, if there is a human error, we cannot identify where it is. No, we cannot identify where it is. That becomes a that becomes a hectic part again. Okay. So, if there are any changes in the test cases, like frequently changes, that can be easily achieved with manual testing. But in automation testing, every time if we have to change the test script, that will be tough. Okay. As I said earlier, if there are high volume of regression test cases that needs to run n number of times, so performing through manual testing is a cost effective, and it takes much cost than the automation testing. And what else? It is time consuming as well. Okay, it is time consuming, and it's tough to work. We need more human force to do such things, to execute such high volume of regression test cases. Whereas this can be execution of high volume of regression cases can be easily achieved with automation testing. Okay. Next, it comes is reporting part. So in manual testing, everything will be tracked in an Excel sheet. So it is this reporting part of the results. If someone asks, that is not readily available. But in automation testing, they will have something called what we say XML results or something, where once the code is executed and everything is pass or fail, it generates the reports then and there itself. If someone asks, we just have to click on a link and open that link and show the result. That's it. It is as simple as that in automation testing. Next, parallel execution. Parallel execution we cannot achieve it through manual testing. What is this parallel execution? Let's say if if the test cases have to run on different sizes of RAM and ROM, or we have 32-bit, 64 bits, right? On different systems, it has to run at the same simultaneously. Manual testers cannot do it, whereas automation testers, they just have to write a line of code, not only a single line of code. There will be some good 5 to 6 methods, or one method with a few lines of code. Okay, they just have to write that and then click on execute. It will execute once this code is executed, it runs on different systems parallelly. Okay, next. In manual testing, we do not use any framework, but in automation testing, we have different frameworks like page object model, BDD, and etc. These are different kinds of frameworks that will see in automation testing. Okay, I'll explain about them also in automation testing. Okay. So as of now, we do not use frameworks in manual testing, but in automation, it uses the different types of frameworks. Okay, this is the difference between manual and automation testing, guys. So if someone asks, what would you prefer? Is it manual testing or automation testing? Let's say you went an interview for automation testing, or if you attend an interview for manual testing. If someone asks, if I give you a automation testing position in automation testing, which one would you prefer? Which one would you prefer? Sometimes these kind of questions might come. So In such case, you have to answer, I'm good with manual testing. I mostly have worked in manual testing. I'm also good in automation testing, but very less time I have spent on it. So if I'm given a chance into automation testing, it will be a learning for me. If I'm given a chance in manual testing, I can use my experience and work much better in a much better. So this kind of answers we have to give. Okay. So this is all about manual and automation testing and their differences, guys. In the next video, from the next video, what we are going to discuss is all about software development life cycle and different phases that are involved in it. Okay. Okay, guys. Thank you. See you on next video.